Welcome to Echoes of Faith, where stories of hope, grace, and redemption come to life. Each story is a journey of faith, a testament to the power of God's love, and a reminder that no one is ever too far from His grace. In this episode, we invite you into the journey of Alise Beaumont, a woman who endured heartbreak, betrayal, and abuse, yet discovered the power of hope, forgiveness, and the God who never left her side. Lean in and be reminded that no matter how dark life becomes, faith can always shine through. Alise Beaumont stood at the kitchen window of her Atlanta home, watching the city hum with life beyond her walls. Inside, her world was different, lonely, bruised, and bound by a marriage that had long since lost its joy. Her husband, Cole, admired by many as a brilliant surgeon, was to her a man of harsh words and hidden fists. Yet even in the shadows, Alise clung to the light. Her 2 children were her anchors, her reason to rise each morning. And every Sunday, she found her refuge in church, the one place where Cole's watchful eyes could not follow. And the arms of her congregation reminded her she was not forgotten. 10 years earlier, Alise had set aside her dream of becoming an accountant to support Cole's pursuit of becoming a doctor. As a cardiac surgeon, Cole was highly respected and admired in his field. But behind closed doors, he was a different person, one who caused harm to his devoted wife. Alise's world crumbled when she discovered that Cole's latest mistress was carrying his child. Confronting him with the truth, she was met with violence and threats. In a desperate bid for help, she reached for the phone to dial 911, only to face another assault and a chilling warning from her husband. Later that night, Alise lay weeping, crying out to God for the strength to escape her chains. But in the silence, it felt as if heaven did not hear. But just as despair threatened to engulf her completely, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness, flooding her room with a divine presence. An angelic figure appeared, radiating comfort and warmth that swept away the shadows of fear and doubt. "Fear not, Alise," the angel spoke, their voice a soothing melody. "God has heard your cries, and He sees your pain. Know that you are not alone, for He is with you always. Everything will be all right." Tears of relief streamed down Alise's face as she embraced the angel's message, feeling a renewed sense of hope blossoming within her wounded soul. Weeks passed, and Alise held on to the angel's message. She continued to attend church, and her faith grew stronger with each passing day. However, her home life remained the same. Cole continued to drink, chase after other women, and abuse her. One day, he came home drunk and started up with her again. "I can't believe you go to that stupid church every Sunday. What a waste of time and money. You're worthless," Cole shouted and struck her across the face. As Cole shouted and struck her, Alise tried to shield herself. Then he collapsed, clutching his chest in pain. Panic surged through her as she rushed to his side and realized he was having a heart attack. She called an ambulance and prayed he would survive. Later, as Cole was rushed into surgery, Alise's heart pounded. She paced the waiting room, hands trembling, until the doctor finally emerged. "He's stable for now," he said. Relief washed over her. There was still a long road ahead, but he was alive, and for that, she was grateful. Alise sat by Cole's bedside, her heart heavy with conflicting emotions. She watched him sleeping, his face peaceful in slumber, and it stirred a long-buried tenderness within her. Despite the years of abuse and pain, a part of her still cared for this man who was the father of her children. As Cole stirred awake, his eyes fluttering open, he looked at her with a mix of confusion and gratitude. Alise felt a surge of compassion for this man who was once the love of her life, now lying fragile before her. "Alise," Cole croaked, his voice barely above a whisper. I'm sorry for everything." His words hung in the air, heavy with remorse and regret. Alise's heart ached at the vulnerability in his eyes, so different from the usual coldness she had grown accustomed to. Tears welled up in her eyes as she reached out to hold his hand. Something was shifting within her, as each day brought new strength. She felt empowered, knowing that she was not alone and that God's love and protection were always with her. Cole, on the other hand, was scarred by his heart attack and the realization of his own transgressions. He recognized the toll his actions had taken on his family, and he began to work on himself, attending therapy sessions and taking responsibility for his past mistakes. For Alise, it was like a miracle, a shift in their relationship that she had no control over. Alise's children began to notice the change as well. They saw their father interacting with them with kindness and patience that was previously unseen. The once strained family began to mend, and the haze of despair that once enveloped their home slowly disappeared. Alise could hardly believe this was the same man who had terrorized her for years. It felt like a miracle, but one she had long prayed for. One day, after church, Alise approached Cole and asked, "Why have you started coming to church with me? What's different?" Cole looked at his wife with tears in his eyes. "Something changed when I had that heart attack. I realized how much I need you and the children. I can't keep living in this cycle of pain. I want to be a better husband, father, and man." Alise was taken aback by her husband's words. She could see the sincerity in his eyes, the pain that had been etched into his soul. "We have a long way to go." Cole continued attending church with Alise. He quit drinking, began therapy sessions, and worked on rebuilding trust with his wife. Alise, too, began attending therapy and started the process of healing from the trauma of her past. Slowly but surely, their relationship began to change. The once bitter and angry interactions between Alise and Cole transformed into tender moments of love and understanding. As the years went by, Alise and Cole's love and commitment to each other grew stronger. Their family continued to heal and flourish, and they reminded each other often of the power of forgiveness and the promise of a new beginning. During her darkest moments, the angel appeared, reminding her that she was never alone and that God would always be there for her. With unwavering faith and determination, Alise broke free from the chains of abuse and found a way to reunite her family. Her testimony became a living witness that God's love redeems, His forgiveness restores, and His hope creates a brighter tomorrow. This has been Unshaken Faith, an Echoes of Faith story. May Alise's journey remind you that even when life feels broken, God's power to heal and restore is unshakable. Until next time, keep walking in faith.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, no matter what fires we face, faith will always carry us through. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to leave a comment. Subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. This is Echoes of Faith, where every story brings hope. If today's story moved you, be sure to discover more heartfelt journeys in the Echoes of Faith series and uplift your spirit. Don't miss out on the next chapter. There's always more to uncover.